This headline from The Hill, it caught my eye. Most young men are single. Most young women are not.
Young men have fallen faster than any demographic in America over the last 40 years.
It's a different world now. Like, we don't need men the way that they used to.
Nobody needs men!
The future is female.
Men and women are drifting further apart, and society is crumbling because of it.
A fascinating debate has broken out about the value of marriage.
You've kind of got the trad-con versus red pill thing.
This men's rights crowd that sometimes just goes too far the other way.
You need to stop acting like grown boys and infants and actually become men.
Marriage is a bond, and it's a sacred bond.
It's a machine designed to extract resources from you.
Now many of the red-pilled have taken the position that it's bad for men to get married.
Hannah Pearl Davis, or just Pearly things.
One of the most controversial faces in all of the internet.
She goes on to say that marriage is a terrible deal for men.
Because if me and you were in a business contract, you would never sign a contract where I am paid to leave.
Gee, what could go wrong there?
74% or something of divorces are initiated by women. Men have everything to lose, primarily their own children.
Men get killed by the courts and by divorce laws.
I had no idea that courts of family law were courts of equity, not courts of law.
Because in family court, you don't need evidence to accuse someone of abuse. You need no evidence. When you guys say get married young, a lot of these men don't know what they're signing up for, and you're not going to be there when their entire life falls apart. I interview them on the other side.
I didn't meet my son until he was 15 months old.
How much did you spend trying to get him back?
On legal fees alone was about $200,000.
Before you know it, you're homeless. You're literally just thrown out onto the street.
We absolutely reinforce bad behavior from women.
Wives are taught to leave their husbands, and then daughters grow up without their fathers.
Family is the foundation of the society.
Every problem in society comes from single mother homes.
A lot of women will just chase this negative rabbit hole of happiness, endless happiness.
Feminism's biggest failures is it lies to women. We tell women to date as many guys as possible. We tell them to put off family into marriage.
You are allowed to leave your perfect husband. You are allowed to end a relationship with a really great boyfriend.
Oh, freeze your eggs, have an abortion. What? You're evil.
I don't think there's anything else in life that we actually ever go into preparing to fail. Right. Like, if you have the mentality of this is going to go wrong and be pessimistic, naturally the outcome is going to be that it's going to fail anyway. Yeah. It's self-sabotage. And that's the thing, like, women are so willing to leave marriages because they're not happy. This is not about happiness. The most important thing is the children. And the problem is we have a modern society where it's me, my feelings, leave when I feel like it, instead of doing what's best for the kids.
This myth that we live in an age of male privilege. Where's my male privilege?
They think, well, men have all the rights. They have all the power.
Privileged patriarchal system that we have.
Why doesn't our society care about men's rights?
I have no friends,
No wife, and no social life.
Men are alone in this situation. Men are homeless. Men are thinking about eating guns.
I've seen so many men on the brink of suicide, and they didn't do anything wrong.
How are you equal if the men are the ones that have to fight and die to defend the country? The men are the ones that build and maintain all the infrastructure.
Women are helplessly dependent upon men.
The so-called deaths of despair from suicide, overdose, or alcohol, 3 times higher among men than among women.
Culture is telling men you are no good.
You got to get your act together.
I think men have failed themselves.
What kind of a man are you? What kind of a woman are you going to attract?
If men are in trouble, so are women.
Everybody knows this is a huge problem, but nobody wants to admit it.
Every single woman at the table said they wanted a man.
500K,
500K, 300K,
200K.
Am I crazy?
Everything is really set up against you to fail as a man.
If men make less than women, women don't want to marry them.
So you know who wants more economically and emotionally viable men? Women.
I don't want to be an independent woman anymore.
I don't want to be a strong, independent woman.
I'm over it. When is it going to be my turn?
Where are we meeting the men that don't stop?
I can't keep having these same conversations.
The only simp here is you, Pearl. You simp for men.
I think you simp for women.
She's a provocateur. She says stupid stuff, but Pearl is right about this.
It's already happening. It's just not out in the open yet.
Now it's just hookup culture is going to be our fairy tale ending because men don't want a wife and women can't find a husband. The future, if everybody follows your path, is there is no future.
We go into population decline, and our economy goes into decline.
Civilization will crumble.
The American story does not end well. This is an existential crisis, failing young men.
What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Pearl Daily here on the Audacity Network. Thank you guys for tuning in. You can bring your time and attention anywhere,
But for some reason, you guys choose to tune in here. I want to first say thank you to everybody that has donated to the divorce documentary. As you guys know, we're trying to hit $40,000 this month, and we might actually hit it. We're trying to get to 100K. That's like my lowest quote. So we got $37,547 total dollars raised. Okay, oh no. No, my computer just glitched. Why, God? Hold on, let me, how the hell does this, am I doing something to these computers? All right, hold on, let me do it again. It just zoomed in. I'm like, okay. Okay, here we go. Thank you to Chris for the $5 donation. Robert, $200. So, if someone donates another $500 this show, we can hit 38,000. That'd be pretty exciting. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. So today we are going to be talking about mothers lying to their children. So when I first got into interviewing victims of divorce rape, it actually amazed me how many children had been lied to about their fathers. So welcome to another episode of Pearl Daily. Fathers are judged harshly in today's society, and all we hear about is how fathers aren't needed. They are deadbeats. When they are in the house, women complain that he doesn't do enough. He's like having another child, blah, blah, blah. This is a smokescreen to keep society from pointing out the shortcomings of mothers. Starting in Generation X, mothers have gotten worse and worse. There are women that put their own interests above their community, their husbands, and their families. These women lied and gaslit their way through life without caring about the consequences and outcomes of their actions. It's only when you are an adult that you realize how much your mother lied to you and gaslit you. Your mother lied about who your father was, the kind of man he was, how much he contributed to the house, and the sacrifices he made as a father. Your mother lied to you about her contributions to the family, pointing herself as some kind of supermom that held the fabric of the universe together. Your mother lied to you about her virtue and her purity. She lied to you about her career accomplishments and took credit for things she didn't even do. These are the type of things that your mother lied about and told you when you were young and you believed them. It's a good day and a bad day when you figure out how much of a liar your mother was. It's good because you can finally see her for the horrible person that she is, and it's bad because your perfect image of her is gone forever. You also start to regret some of the things you did when you were little because of her lies, and you wonder how different your life would have been with the information that you had back then. So we're going to look at some X posts about this. The myth that mothers possess an inherent protective instinct to shield their children from harm is a patriarchal fabrication, a lie that crumbles under scrutiny, especially when considering the treatment of daughters. In reality, mothers perpetuate the very misogyny that enslaves them, grooming their female children into a lifetime of suffering and subjugation. I asked my own mother about her severe phobia of blood, and she recounted her 4 C-sections in excruciating detail. She described the complete paralysis she felt after each surgery, the lasting health problems they caused, and the psychological trauma she endured. Yet despite this litany of horror, she concluded with a chilling, "You will understand all of this when you get pregnant." Mothers are as protecting and nurturing as a farmer preparing his livestock for slaughter. They ensure that their daughters inherit the same suffering and abuse they endured. This is not protection, it is a transmission of torture to maintain the dominance of men. Many of you have a problem. Okay, so that's the one. The next we're going to go through is my mom made me believe I'm actually a useless human being because everything I do for her is not good enough, so I stopped doing anything at all. Every single day, she always reminds me of the stuff I didn't do instead of praising me for the stuff I did do. I'm tired. And by the way, guys, I understand there are good mothers. This is not the show for that, so please do not call in and tell me that wasn't your experience. This was not the Callin Show for you. I hate it. well, we're doing a call-in show about a specific topic. And they're like, well, that wasn't my experience. Like, well, then why are you here? Sorry. Thank you, Gabriel, for the $2 super chat. That's why I wanted to impress someone, hoping they'd recognize my effort. I just wish my parents would recognize my effort, but they always pressure me 24/7 because I'm not doing enough in life. They can't use my depression as an excuse. I'm just useless. Mothers used to get away with this all the time, but now social media is giving sons and daughters an outlet to share the lies that their mothers told them. This is going to be a call-in show, and I want you to share, what was the worst lie your mother ever told you? How did you find out it was a lie? And what happened when you confronted your mother about the lie?
Hi, everybody. Annie here. Somebody asked me, what was the biggest lie my mother ever told? Hang on to your hat. When my mother became pregnant with me, she went to my grandmother and told her it was my grandfather's because she hated my grandfather and she wanted him out of the house. And she thought that would be the way to do it, to get him out of the house. She never told my grandmother the difference. My grandmother from that day on hated my grandfather, but they still lived together because of financial reasons. And back then, you just didn't get a divorce. And it ruined their marriage. And when I turned 15, I think, I don't know why, but my grandmother felt she needed to tell me that I was a product of incest, which devastated me. And I felt like I was a freak. And even before I married my husband, I told him that, there could be some abnormal children involved because of the DNA issues. And it wasn't until I was in my 30s that my mother confessed that it was all a lie. She just hated my grandfather and didn't want him in the house anymore because he was a drinker and he was drunk a lot, and she did not like him, and he did not always give her her way. So she ruined my grandmother's marriage. And she didn't realize that my grandmother had told me this. And that's when she confessed to my grandmother and my sister, never to me, that it was all a lie. It was all a lie. And for 15, maybe 20 years, I felt like I was an anomaly, that there was something wrong with me. But that's the biggest lie my mother ever told.
Wow. Crazy. Okay, let's see what's next.
What was the biggest lie that your mother told you as a child?
I have two major lies that my mother used to tell us when we were children. I know actually one of them is more recently, but the one when we were kids is she used to tell us that she was a good mom. And what kind of mom needs to tell her children that they're
That's so true.
Good mom unless they're a narcissist. So, yeah, there's that one. And we know that's not true now. And as an adult, this one was very recent, actually. My mom has decided that she does not remember or doesn't want to remember our childhood abuse.
That's always the gaslighting. Oh, I don't remember doing that. Really, bitch? How convenient that you don't remember all the bad things.
Abuse that she put us in. And after many, many years of telling her, she's decided those conversations never happened.
We are like 99% sure my sister murdered her mother-in-law and made it look like a self-dealing. Holy shit.
So I'm hoping that one day when she passes and sheds that cloak of ego and narcissism, that we can actually have a healthy, decent conversation about what life was like with her.
Okay, let's see what's next.
What was the biggest lie that your mother told you as a child?
I was in my 20s. My fiance wanted to postpone our wedding. It absolutely put me into a tailspin, and I was given anxiety medication at the hospital because I had a complete emotional breakdown. And I had to be transferred to a higher level of care because they couldn't take care of me in the facility that I was at. And so my fiance called my mom and asked her to please come and see if she could help get me out sooner. When I got there, my mom told my fiance to go to his motorcycle race and that she would see him on Monday. I got out of the hospital and my mom told me that he did not want me, he did not want to get married, that he absolutely still wanted to keep the wedding called off, and took away my phone and moved me back to Montana. When he came home, I was gone, and I never knew until, actually, it's been 13 years and I found out last year.
Oh my gosh. Holy shit. There's nobody that lies better than a woman. Okay, let's see what's next.
You grew up. More conservative, and obviously masturbation wasn't something you...
Yeah, I was blamed for it. I remembered my mom planted a seed for me when I got my first period. I got home. I said, Mom, I think I had a miscarriage.
Were we like 12?
Yeah, because when I was 12, I watched all the Chinese soap operas of the king and the 20 concubines trying to get pregnant, and then somebody get poisoned, and then they bleed. I said,
Were you having sex?
I wasn't having sex. I didn't know.
It's so funny.
I said, Mom, I think Buddha put a seed on me. So like a Virgin Mary. I got pregnant and then someone poisoned me. Now I lost a baby. I'm sorry, Mom.
And you weren't being funny.
I wasn't. She goes, you lost a baby? Did you... What? I said, it's the blood. She goes, oh, you have your period. I said, what is a period? She goes, that means you are a woman now. I said, does that mean that I'm a slut? She goes, did you ever have sex with him? I said, no, of course not. I can't do that. She said, nobody poisoned you. You are a woman now.
Yeah.
Look at yourself in the mirror. I said, yes. She goes, I always tell you it's not possible for you to get uglier, but there is possibilities. If you touch yourself, you will get uglier.
Yeah.
She said, everything's possible.
I didn't think you could get any uglier, but you could if you masturbate.
Oh my God. Let's see what else.
Okay, guys, let's talk about it. I feel like it's so weird. Because growing up, okay, guys, let's talk about it. I feel like it's so weird because growing up, I never realized how my mom used to just lie to me. Like, I remember, like, when I was younger and I used to get money from birthday parties or get money from my grandparents or just anything. And my mom really used to say, like, let me hold your money, let me put it up for you and keep it in savings. Now I'm 20 years old and I'm like, where the hell that money went? Like, where's my money? I could have sworn I made over at least $2,000 from all the money I made up until I was like 5. I feel like to like 12, like I could have made a lot of money. Like, where's my money?
Yeah, they just take it. All right, let's see.
What's the biggest lie that your parents ever told you?
I win this one. So when I was younger, like elementary school, I would always have this fight every day with this kid. And he would argue that I was Hispanic. And I was getting so mad because I was like, my family is Italian and Polish. That's where I like get tanner skin. And he was like, I don't believe you. You're Hispanic. And I fought this kid for probably 4 years. I'm 22 now. 1 year ago, I was 21 years old. I get a DM from this random girl. And she's like, your father is not your father. Your sister is not your sister. Your dad is blah, blah, blah. Your mom met him when she was living in blah, blah, blah. And it was like general information. So I was like, this is like a trafficking scam. Like, they happen sometimes. And I was like, whatever, not falling for it. So I told my dad about it. And my family drove up to my college town the next day. Turns out I am Hispanic. For 21 years, they lied about my biological father.
Wow. Holy crap. Oh my gosh. All right, let's see this one.
She'd win the
Okay.
Oscar and remembers exactly how her mother reacted.
Academy. When I won the Oscar for Misery, she said, I don't know what all the excitement about. You didn't discover the cure for cancer. I forgot to thank her that night.
You know, you did thank her. At the end of your speech, you thanked her.
No, I did not. I did not. You go back and look at it. I didn't.
We did go back and look. Then we showed her.
Thank my family, my friends, my mom at home, and my dad, who I hope is watching somewhere.
What do you think of him?
Thank you. Why did I think I didn't thank her? Oh, what a relief.
Why does that mean so much to you?
Because she should have had my life. When she died, I said, come into me.
She'd win the Oscar. And remember.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to do a call-in. And I want to know what the craziest lie you guys' mother ever told you was. So we're going to put a Zoom link in the chat. I'm going to give it to the people on Twitter. I have a few group chats I send. All right, so let me send this out. Doug MPA. Are you?
I am here.
How are you, Doug?
I am fantastic, my friend. How are you?
I'm good. So tell me, what's the biggest lie your mom ever told you?
Well, I've shared multiple times about Mom 2.0, how my mom was a demon most of my life up until I was in my mid-30s, and then she went to therapy, and now she's a different person. But before that, man, it was just awful. My mom did the thing where she painted herself as Superwoman, that she was carrying the universe on her shoulders. And, you know, everything in this house and everything of my existence is because of her. She said horrible things about my dad, just all of it. And then the gaslighting. But
Go ahead.
The worst part about my mother was probably that Kathy Bates clip. My mom was just like that. It wasn't the lies so much as the harsh language. But my mom would tear you down. If anything positive ever happened, she would crap all over it. I'm trying to think of the worst lie, the absolute worst lie that she, she didn't come to my graduate school graduation because she said that my parents didn't have the money to be able to afford a ticket, and they did have it, but she just didn't want to get on a plane and fly to my grad school graduation.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
So she just didn't want to go. So I walked across the stage in grad school, and she wasn't there because she just couldn't be bothered. And to this day, she just said, "Oh, we didn't have the money. We didn't have the money, so I couldn't go."
Oh.
So yeah, that was pretty bad. My mom was awful. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
My mom used to call herself a single mom, and I'm like, Mom, we had nannies.
Oh, so worst.
I'm like, why would you say that? I'm like, we live in a 10-bedroom mansion.
Yeah.
Why would you say that? Go ahead.
It's a freaking gaslighting, man.
I know.
It's gaslighting. All these women, the reputation is what's first and foremost, and how dare you, challenge them or make them look bad.
Yeah. Is anyone on the line or no?
No, not yet.
Okay, I guess we'll wait.
Guys, make sure to like the videos, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that Zoom link and call in and tell us the biggest lie that your mother's ever told you. You don't have to show your face. Just come on in and let's all trauma bond.
You know what the worst part is you don't know the stories that are like true and not true. And like sometimes you'll repeat stories from your childhood and you'll say it out loud and you're like, oh, fuck, that sounds fake.
Yeah. Or
that sounds over-exaggerated. Like you'll start telling it and you're like, oh, God damn it. Like this isn't real, is it?
Yeah. Or you said things that your mothers have said to other people, and they're like, their mother is sane, and so they hear you say something about your mom that your mom's told you, and they're just like, what? Who'd you hear that from?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to bring Mama Dontiel on.
Okay.
Says connecting audio. While Mama's coming on, smash that like button, everyone. Really appreciate that. Says connecting to audio. Still connecting to audio. Thank you to all the regulars in the YouTube chat, and thank you for everyone in the Audacity chat. I really appreciate it. It's just us connecting to audio. This technology, it's great when it works. Just connecting to audio. Mama Dantiel, drop out and come back in, and maybe that'll fix the issue. Because it keeps trying to connect to this person's audio. I'm going to take them out. I think, but yeah, in your monologue, you're talking about the Generation X. This problem literally started with Generation X women and just got worse and worse and worse.
I disagree.
Okay.
I think women have always been like this. I don't. Look, I found writings from 1920 complaining about the same thing. Women of the past, they're not different. They're not. I mean, there's maybe different circumstances where they can't do as bad of stuff, but women have always been women. I think it's been like all of time. Go ahead.
Mama Dantiel, you are on mute. Unmute. Your audio is connected. Unmute. Okay. Let me drop them and put them in the waiting room. Fry, you're up next. Fry is joining the call. And guys, make sure if you want to call in to click the Zoom link at the top of the chat. Click that and come on in and give us all the best stories of the worst lie that your mother ever told you. Okay. Fry, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, Fry, how are you?
I'm doing all right, with all things considered.
So what's the worst lie your mother ever told you?
There's quite a few stories, but there was one. Do you remember when the government was furloughed?
Mm-hmm.
So I just finished nuclear power school at the time, and I was going to go to my duty station on the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
So drive all across country, won't be able to see my mom for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
And I called her up a few weeks before I was going to head out. And I knew she wasn't working because she was furloughed. She was in the government.
Mm-hmm.
I said, hey, I have some free time. Do you mind if I come visit you? And she said, well, unfortunately, I just don't have time to see you. I'm busy with work. And maybe, after you get out of the Navy, we could probably talk and you could come visit.
Wow.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's kind of how she was my entire life.
She just never wanted to see you and spend time with you?
No, she did, but it wasn't that she wanted to see me. It was that she wanted me to be around so she could vent.
So she could what?
Vent. So before I joined the Navy, she got divorced from my father.
Oh, so she wanted you around just to trauma dump and just vent all the horrible things to you.
Yeah, well, she would try calling me and do that, but then when it came to, saying goodbye to me or see me, she didn't come visit me during my Navy graduation or, completing boot camp, completing my training. She didn't want to see me at all because she knew I kind of talked to my father instead.
Oh, so she was mad because you were close with your dad, and so she would take it out on you. Got it. When you were younger, did she ever tell you something about your dad that just wasn't true?
It's every single time she would talk to me, she said, well, I know I wasn't a great mother, but your dad was never there for us. He was always out of the house because my mom picked them out because she had to work, in order to pay off her bills.
So what was the real story? Was he actually not around, or what was the real story?
I guess the best way would be talking about when I was in high school. I had issues where I was kind of suicidal. Like I was breaking my bones. I was, cutting myself and just really unsafe behavior. And my dad lived 2 hours away from us at the time because of his job. And
I see.
when I told my mom I wasn't feeling well, and I'm kind of worried about, I'm constantly like punching the wall. Like my walls were just filled with holes from me just anger. And she said, well, you just need to grow up. No one cares about you or your well-being. And then, because it got to a really bad point where at the high school, I had to go to the emergency room because of an attempt I did. And my mom said, oh, I couldn't leave work. But my dad, when he found that, he immediately left his job, drove 2 hours, and was with me the whole night at the emergency room.
Wow. And so she basically said all this stuff, and then he was the one who showed up.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing that. Doug MP, you got any questions for him?
No, I don't. Thanks for sharing. Call anytime, okay?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Next up, we have Chad. Make sure you hit that Zoom link.
Hey, Chad.
We'd love to hear.
Hey, Chad. How are you?
Yeah, no problem.
He's listening to the Zoom.
We got to figure something out for this because we can't keep doing this. I don't know if it's a different platform or what.
Hit that Zoom link. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Turn off the YouTube in the background.
Yeah, I just did.
Okay. Hey, Chad. So what was the biggest lie your mother ever told you?
Yeah, it's been nonstop lies pretty much my whole life. But the biggest one, well, my biological sperm donor, because I refuse to call him my father, split before I was born. And ever since I was 1-2 years old, my mom would just tell me he's dead. Not he's gone. He's dead. And this continued on until I was about 5 or 6. And in school, the teacher's just like, okay, tell us what your mom's name is and what she does, and tell us what your dad's name is and what she does. And when they got to me, I said, oh, my mom's name is this and she does this, and my dad is dead. And what I didn't know is that the teacher actually knew my biological sperm donor and contacted my mother and brought her into the principal's office.
Oh, wow.
And that was the first time, like when I was 5 or 6, she finally admitted, you got to stop saying your dad's dead. And I'm like, why? Because he isn't. And I mean, that just started off so many lies down the road. The amount of lies she's told to me has ruined several of my careers, my marriage, several long-term friends she lied to about me that I often wondered why. And later to find out years later, oh, well, your mom told me this. And I'm just like,
what did she say? Like, what did she say you said or did?
Oh, I don't even know everything, but she would just lie about me. My mom is, and I've studied sociopathy and sociopathy and psychopathism. And unfortunately, my mom is what they call a low-level sociopath. She's not a psychopath, but a low-level sociopath, narcissistic. She's had probably 30 surgeries to change herself. Like one of the key signs she's not happy with herself. She never was. The amount of lies she told my family. I was a horrible person. I was a drunk. I was a druggie. I couldn't be trusted. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, you name it, she told them. And one of my cousins was like at a party. She was telling everyone similar stories to this. And my cousin was the one that finally brought it to my attention. And I was wondering why all my aunts and uncles and certain people in my family were treating me like shit. And comes to find out, she's been lying to them my entire life about me. And the good news is that only in the past year or two, they actually have caught her in the lies, and the majority of them have gotten to know me as a person better and have just realized that everything they've ever heard about me was pretty much untrue. But the biggest one, the biggest one was your dad's dead. And that was a eye-opening experience for a 5 to 6 year old boy to find out. And she wouldn't tell me his name until I got to be like an older teenager and stuff like that. So,
did
you ever reach out to you? I'm sorry, go ahead, bro.
Were any of the stuff that she was saying like half true? Because she said she did drugs, alcohol. Did you like? I have to ask because I don't know you, right? Was there any truth to it?
I did normal teenage and young 20-year-old stuff, but I'd never been in jail because of it. I never lost jobs because of it. I did normal smoking and joking and drinking here and there, partying. But I wasn't a party boy. It wasn't every night of the week. I didn't get drunk and lose my jobs or something like that.
Yeah.
No, it was just the I got to make him look worse than me so I can look better. And that, like, I've noticed the pattern all my life, and it just took me 30 years to realize what she was doing,
Yeah. So it was something small, and she just times it by 10. It was like normal, like college, young adult
50
stuff.
to 100.
Yeah.
She had to make hers. The other thing was bottom line is 95% of women should not be single mothers.
Yeah, I agree.
Period. And I've known too many single mothers I've met a couple really incredible single mothers, but boy, the amount of stuff that they have to do to keep that in line is, you got to be a responsible adult. 95, I'll go 90. 90% of them just don't have the capability of raising healthy children. And I've read the studies too. Single mother, children of single mothers, 80% of them fall in worse circumstances after the age of 18 than 80% of single fathers that raise children, boy or girl. And living it my whole life and seeing it in the dating scale, because I've dated a lot of single mothers in my day, 5 to 10% of them had their shit together and were really solid people, much less mothers, but people. The rest, just their kids suffered for it. It did. Whether it was the discipline, there was either no discipline or too much discipline. And I'm sorry. I thank God I had an incredible grandfather. And since I didn't have a father around, he was like a father to me and taught me what a father should be. And he was my only reprieve from her, actually, because, the emotional and physical and mental abuse that you take from a bipolar, sociopathic, narcissistic mother who has an incredibly intelligent son. I just, like I said, I started noticing patterns in my 20s and 30s, and it really clicked in my 30s. What she did to me the whole time was to keep her thumb on me the whole time, because she didn't want me to be a better person than she thought she should be.
So how old were you when you figured it out?
I'd say early 30s, mid 20s. I didn't talk to her for 3 years. It got that bad. I didn't talk to my mother for 3 years in my 20s. I kept my baby son away from her for 8 months until my wife begged me and convinced me to at least let her see her grandchild. I conceded to that, but I still didn't talk to her for 2 years after that. Then, being the bigger person I've always been and forgiving everything I all forgiven without any apology, because narcissists, sociopaths can't admit they ever did anything wrong. Even if it's blatantly obvious and you have proof, they can't admit it. To this day, my mother has never said she was sorry to me. To this day,
they can't do
for anything.
They can't. It's
they
impossible.
can't. They're incapable.
It's impossible.
The good news is, between my grandfather, who taught me to be a good man, and everything not to do that my mother did raising me, I have an incredible relationship with my adult grown son, who loves me to death, and we have the kind of relationship a father and son should have when a son gets to be 18. So.
Thank you, Corey, for the documentary super chat. Doug MPA, do you have anything to add?
Did you ever have a conversation with your biological father or no?
At 36, it was getting to me. It was starting to get to me like bad for the abandonment issues and stuff like that. So, yeah, I reached out to him, 36 years old. He believed it but didn't believe it. Had me take a paternity test, even though everyone in the town knew that was my dad, and I looked like my cousins on that side, even though I didn't know any of them. But he made me take a paternity test. I said, yeah, it's cool, whatever. So it came back 99.9999. He paid for that extra fourth 9. And I met him, found out where I got my nose and my eyebrows and my ears from. I met my half brother and half sister, which I didn't know I had. That was a real shocker at 36 years old. And they knew nothing about me, even though he 50% was sure I was his child. He never mentioned it or anything. And his wife that he knew, again, everyone was from a small town where we grew up. So everyone knew, but no one talked about it. So his wife did know, but they never talked about it. So here I have a 26-year-old. This is 30 when I was 36, so he's 10 years younger. My brother was 26 and my sister was 19, and this was the first time they're ever hearing about an older half sibling. So they not only were pissed at, their parents for not just mentioning it, like, oh, you could have a half brother out there, and stuff like that. So I did meet them once or twice, but after that, they wanted nothing to do with me. And I really, I mean, look, I wanted a brother and sister so bad growing up. I had great cousins that were like brothers and sisters, but I never had a brother and sister growing up. And I was really like, oh my God, I'll get a half brother and half sister out of this, even if it's just for a, hey, how you doing every now and then. And my brother ixnayed me in about 6 months after I met him. And then my sister ixnayed me about a year and a half after. And then he barely talks to me. So it just is what it is.
Well, you got the ultimate revenge, and you have a good relationship with your son. So
I have an amazing relationship with my son. And you know what? I couldn't have done it if I didn't have that shitty of a mom raising me, but that good of a grandfather, her dad, raising me and showing me what it is to be a good man, a good parent, and a good father. So you're absolutely right, Doug. I treasure. In fact, anyone who ever knew me for 5 minutes will, if you ask them what's the most important thing in my life, without hesitation, they'd be like, his son. Mm-hmm. And he always was, and always will be. So very, very thankful for that. Yeah.
Whoa. Well, thanks for calling in. Call in anytime. Thank you for sharing your story. We really appreciate it.
I wanted to help other people and let them know that, your situation might be just as bad or not as bad, but there's other people out there that go through this every day, and you're not alone. So and you can also be a better person. You don't have to take that low road of being that lying piece of shit parent that, beat you, emotionally abuse you, whatever they did to you. You can be a better person. After 18, you can be a better person, and you can raise good children and not do what they do if you learn the right lessons. So
awesome.
Thanks for calling.
Hey, great talking with you. Sorry.
That's okay. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it.
Great talking with y'all. Y'all have a blessed night, guys. Take care.
You too.
Man, what a good call. Wow. Mm-hmm. Yikes. Oh, these small towns, man. Oh, man. Okay, next up we have Daniel. Daniel, are you there? Daniel? Daniel SR? Is he listening to the YouTube too? Daniel? Take Daniel out. And I'll bring in Ernie. Ernie?
Yeah. Are you there?
Hmm?
Okay. Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. How are you?
Yeah. You're doing all right.
Where are you calling out of? What state?
Oh shit, we're doing that. Yeah. I'm in Tejas.
Oh, cool. All right. So
it's fucking hot over here.
Nice. So what is the biggest lie your mother ever told you?
Basically, how her and my dad broke up. Like, they were never married or anything. It was like the common law thing or whatever. But yeah, it was like, she said that he just kind of like approached her one day and was like, all right, I'm leaving. And she said, oh, well, when you on your way back, do you think you can pick up some diapers or whatever? And he said, no, I'm just leaving. I'm leaving you. I found another woman that I'm interested in, and I'm done here. And she said, oh, okay. See you later. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. And see, that story does two things that I know you're familiar with, Pearl. On the one hand, it paints her, like the first part of that story paints her as just the big doe-eyed, innocent young girl who just, is like, oh, okay, well, on your way back, plain innocent and all that bullshit. And then on the other hand, it turns her into the strong, independent woman, like, yeah, whatever. All right, I got this. It's all good.
Yeah. It's the female-friendly version of the story. She's the hero and the victim in the story at the same time.
Absolutely. Damn right, man. So, yeah.
So what actually happened?
Well, according to my dad, who, years later, he would tell me that what happened was that she, I don't know, like they got into like a big fight, and she ended up just like snatching me and my brother like away from him and just started walking down the street with us while he's like trying to trail her, in his car. I don't know if he cheated or what the hell happened. Like, he gets really cagey when he talks about his infidelities, even though I know it's like, I call that motherfucker out on it. I'm like, dude, I know you cheat. Don't be a bitch. Tell me. Anyway, but I'm assuming that he probably cheated. She snatched us both, my brother and I, away from him. She walked down the street. He was trailing behind her in his car, begging her to come back. And I guess she just took the bus to her, my grandma's house, and just pretty much cut him off like that. And then eventually he actually got married. He wasn't married to her, but yeah, he got married later. But no, it was just, like.
Okay, so she acted like he left, but really she left.
She left.
He cheated,
so
but like,
up,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Was there any other lies that she told throughout your childhood, or was that the extent of it?
Just that she loves me. No, basically, it's mostly just like every. So and then,
God. Sorry, God.
It's basically like every other fucking dude that comes. Oh, you know what? This is a good one too. Damn, I'm glad she doesn't fucking listen to this. Yeah, the only other one was like she called my stepdad out on his supposed infidelity, but it turns out that she was also fucking around. Like, she had actually had my grandma on my dad's side, funnily enough, take her to a fucking car show so she could meet up with some dude that she was like, I think she was kind of inching towards eventually cheating. I don't know if she actually did go through with it, but yeah, just mostly just also lying about that. Like, no, I would never do that. I've never cheated. I've never even entertained that. But nah, like, bitch, yes, you have. Shut up.
Men will eventually admit they're bad people. Like, they'll own up to, they'll be like, yeah, I did it. But women, it's like, you could have like printout texts of them cheating and they'll still gaslight you.
Like, yeah, and my dad and stepdad owned up to that shit. She never did. And even my grandma told me, like, yeah, no, I took her to that car show. Like, she wanted to meet up with some guy, and I called her out. Like, dude, you're married. She's like, yeah, but, he's old. It's like, bitch. Seriously, man. Horrible.
Yeah, it's just like Pearl said in the monologue, we judge fathers so harshly and we don't judge mothers at all. I think we're finally starting to see a little bit of a turnaround, but it's going to take a while, man. It's going to take a long time for society to, because there are too many scumbag mothers. And I always say mothers inflict infinitely more damage on their children than fathers do. Because, guys, honestly, think about it, especially the women, the girls, to the one or two girls in the chat. Who was the first person to say you were too tall, too short, too thin, too fat? Your boobs are too big. They're not big enough. Your hair is stringy. Your skin is terrible. You dress like a whore. Who's the first person that most kids hear call a woman a slut or a whore? It's your mom.
Yep. I agree. Yeah. She was pretty bad, man. In the beginning, she didn't know what the hell she was doing. There was one point where she fucking had me on the floor and kicked me so hard and so repeatedly that she broke her own fucking toe. Dumb bitch.
Oh my gosh. Holy
yeah,
shit.
man. It got pretty bad at times, but she's a little more chill now that she's old and she needs my help. But yeah, it got pretty bad at times.
You still deal with her? Wow.
Yeah. She's old. Yeah, I know.
Men are such good people. You can have your mother abuse you and you'll still take care of her when she's old.
And it's funny that you use that word, Pearl, because whenever I have called her out, or like in the past when I called her out on the way she disciplined, quote unquote, us, she would say like, well, then that's the way my mom treated me. Are you calling your grandma, my mother, an abuser? And she puts my grandma on a pedestal. Like she could do no wrong. She never did anything wrong. It's like, no, don't you dare. Because if you call me an abuser, you're calling your grandma an abuser. How dare you?
I almost think the more someone's put on a pedestal, like by the kid, the more crazy they are. Because I feel like the pedestal, half the time it's there because the mother is putting herself on the pedestal and just in the kid's ear. Yeah. And the kid knows if they go against the narrative, then the mom's going to crash out.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, and in some weird way, she kind of puts herself on the pedestal, too. She's actually said that, too. Like, mothers should be held to a higher standard. Like, all right, bitch. Well, I mean... it's only you who says that, or maybe Norman Bates too. But yeah, bitch, like I don't not a lot of people, whatever. Yeah. Okay. Keep telling yourself that, whore. Anyway.
Cool. Cool. Well, thanks for calling in. Call it anytime. Okay.
Oh, I appreciate that, bro. You're kicking ass, man.
Thanks.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Right.
Bye.
Cool. All right. Except Daniel. Saw him drop back out. Well, nope, never mind. We'll bring up Daniel. You're not there. Okay. Sean. Guys, make sure to like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're on our way to 3 million. So hit that subscribe button. And all the super chats go to the divorce documentary. Sean, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Hey, Sean, how are you?
I'm doing well.
So what's the biggest lie your mother ever told you?
Ooh, that's interesting. So there are lies that she tells me that she's just completely oblivious about.
Okay.
Because she's like the equivalent of like a 1920s, 1930s housewife.
Okay.
And then there are the lies that she knows, but she tells me, or like sort of lies of omission she won't tell me about. Okay. But it's more to like sort of protect the honor of her family, if that makes sense. Like,
okay.
So I'll give you the examples of both. So as far as like lies she tells me that she's completely ignorant about is just, so she grew up sort of in a society where like you don't have sex before marriage and you basically live with your parents until you get married off, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And so she still thinks that girls my age are like virgins until they're married, if that makes sense. Like she thinks they're not like getting their backs blown out in college, or they're not getting fucked on in high school and stuff like that. So she still tells me that like all the girls are still like that, but that's because she's never really stepped outside the house. She's only raised kids. She's never worked in the workforce, never went to college. So like that's what she still believes still happens, and that the girls who don't do that are in the minority. So it is funny to sort of hear that, because like only someone who's that sheltered their entire life would basically believe that, if that makes sense. As far as the lies she's told me that like she knows is going to be like, that my dad was actually married to like an American girl before he got married to my mom. And then that didn't like turn out well. And then I only found out about that because like I looked up into like my county's marriage records, and I saw that he was married to somebody else for a little bit. And I was just like, I asked her about it. Like, I kind of confronted her about it, and she's like, yeah, don't tell your siblings about that. But like, yeah, that kind of happened. Like, so it's just things like that she'll kind of keep from me unless she knows that like, okay, it's time to tell me when like other people's honor can be preserved. So that's what I usually get from my mom is like more lies to like protect other people, but not really like blatant lies. But I think to some extent she does know what women are really like, now that she's like lived a lot of years in this country. And it's just, I guess she just doesn't want people to have a negative reputation of women. And I think that's why most women do it. Like if they were to tell their sons from a young age, yeah, women are sluts, they're going to go for the best they can get. You know what I mean? Like all that's really going to do is really red pill their kids from like, age 13.
I'll do it.
And I don't know if that's going to have a good outcome either. You know what I mean?
Do it. At this point, I don't believe, hold on, Doug. At this point, I don't believe most mothers possess a maternal instinct. Yeah, no, I agree. Doug, go ahead.
It's the sad part about it. It's the age-old thing where, especially single mothers will tell their sons the opposite of what their father did to get their mother in bed.
Yeah, and I think part of it is just because, like, it is somewhat of a selfish nature. Like, I think women, they have to deal with reputation in a different way that sort of shapes their view that men don't really have to, right? If a guy goes out and says he, slept with a bunch of girls or, just hooked up and stuff like that, no one's really going to it doesn't really do anything to his reputation. The same way for a girl, like if she goes and says things like that, instantly people will view her in a very negative light, right? So I think they have more incentive to lie to sort of protect their reputation because they know it has more adverse consequences for them. So I think everything kind of goes back to incentives, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
Yep, makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. We have a full call line, so we're going to move on to the next call. But thanks for calling, and we really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Actually, I want to riff for a second before the next caller. So it's interesting because I was always told growing up to wait till you're married, right? And then when I got older, I found out my mom got pregnant by my dad 3 months after they met. And I'm like, Mom, why didn't you just tell me to download Tinder and get pregnant? I'm like, that worked for you. I'm like, 30 years, you didn't want to tell me what you actually did. I was like, come on. Or I don't know how long it was, but it wasn't that long. I'm like, why didn't you tell me that? You told me to withhold the one thing they want? Like, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I knew a woman that was, she was 57 and her husband had been married for 40 years.
Oh, wow.
Right? Because no, she was 56. He was 57. They had been married for 40 years because they're from Alaska. And he was 16. She was 15. And guess what happened? He got her pregnant. But they were married for 40 years. And I knew them 15 years ago. So they're still married. So they've been married.
No, go ahead. Keep going.
They've been married 55 years now. And because he got her pregnant and they made him get married.
Well,
so
it makes
that's exactly
sense
what you're talking about.
Because women want to be with the men for the genetic material. So the guys you let get pregnant immediately are the guys you actually like. Like that's who women want. So it's like, and it was funny. I was with my sister the other day and we're like, get Tinder. I was like, my little sister, she's like 21. I'm like, Eva, get Tinder right now. Like, we were kidding. But like, and then this lady that like lives near us, she's like a housewife. She's like, what? That's not what we said. I'm like, but that's what worked. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Let me bring on, because Nathan was in the chat putting down a good story in the chat. I told him to call in. So,
okay.
Nathan.
Hey.
Hey, Nathan, how are you?
Been better. I mean, I've been listening to a lot of your content lately on everything, and today just resonated with me more than anything because of my childhood that I had of about 15 years of neglect and child abuse by the hands of my biological mother that, as I explained to Doug earlier, she knows better than to call me no matter how old she is, whether she needs help or not, because she's dead to me. And that's me being nice.
So
because I almost went to prison because of her.
No way. What happened? Okay, go ahead.
I was in high school and she had been abusing me by this point for years. And she actually started as far back as elementary school. Even when I was 6 years old in the first grade, she would, just because she had a bad day at work, she would backhand me across the face. She would punch me, insult me every way possible, slam my head into the staircase at home, all that sort of stuff. And eventually I got to the point in high school that I couldn't take it anymore. And I started saying I wanted to commit, pardon my language, murder. I wanted to kill her. We were at each other's throats, and I had to verbalize that it would have been a double because her idiot husband would have defended her because he's the king of simps.
Mm-hmm.
Because my bio mom is the kind of woman that she insults her older sister and my grandmother for mistreating their husbands. She treats her husband the exact same way, and she'd have the audacity to do this in their house. So here we are at Christmas, and it's around the time of my grandparents' 50th wedding anniversary. She goes into the guest bedroom, calls her idiot husband, my stepsister, and myself, and proceeds to badmouth my grandmother and say that my grandfather needed to grow a backbone 50 years ago. And her husband's just standing there going, "Yes, dear, you're right, dear. He's so miserable. She's so terrible. You're so wonderful." And I'm looking at him like, dude, she does this crap to you. In fact, she just flipped you off and embarrassed you in public last week. But she also does things like throw my dad under the bus and say, "We had to spend a night in a shelter and he abused me." No, you abused him by having him work 2 jobs while you were spending the money like no tomorrow. Then while he's doing those 2 jobs and taking care of a newborn, you can't even throw away a pot roast, so you put your foot in his back and shove your husband out of bed to make him go deal with the pot roast. And then you're having an affair on him with a coworker? Really?
Holy crap.
What?
Yeah.
So you almost...
I'm gonna... Go ahead.
So you said you almost like tried to murder her? How close did you get?
I talked about it, and a couple of times I threw just dull little punches at her, but I'm a Christian guy, so it's like, okay, I didn't want to do that, and so I was constantly telling the schools, my middle school, bless their hearts, tried as they might, but the thing was, she has a degree in social work, so she knew how the laws read, she knew how to skate that line. To where it was my word versus hers, and the high school was stupid. They took her side every time, but the middle school and the elementary school said, "Hold on, something's up here," but she's not giving us enough for us to get CPS involved.
Got it. Wow.
Yeah, the only physical evidence she ever left was one time she messed up and she sent me to my dad's house, and my dad took the day off to spend with me and I just call her my mom, and she's my stepmom, and I had fingernail marks in my arm.
Oh my gosh.
From her.
And what was her reputation like at school, at her job? Like, was it known that she was crazy, or did she kind of put on a good front?
Oh, she put on a good front to where the only people that knew who she really was anyone at the house. But ever since I left, as soon as I turned 18, I said, F it, I'm gone. I don't care if I'm a junior in high school. And I left. My stepsisters and my stepfather threw the blinders on. Everyone in the family threw the blinders on. And it took years to where my aunt in Arizona finally admitted, look, I knew something was going on. I didn't physically witness it, but clearly something's going on because otherwise he wouldn't just do this. He would not have to leave half of his family for dead because they take her side and he doesn't want to deal with her. She left me with a brain condition called hydrocephalus. That's water on the brain. So my brain was being crushed by its own brain fluid because it wasn't recycling into my body like it was supposed to for 19 years. It took my mom and my dad figuring out he's got a migraine for a week. Something's wrong. And they figured it out.
Was it from her hitting you?
Very likely in my book.
Holy crap. So how long has it been since you talked to her?
The last time I spoke to her was in May of 2018 for my college graduation because I wanted to be the bigger person so that her side and her idiot husband's side couldn't tarnish my name and say, oh, he's so horrible. And they don't even say I'm horrible. They say my dad brainwashed me into hating her.
Oh, wow. And did she lie about your dad, I'm guessing, too?
Oh, yeah. She lied and said that he abused her because he grabbed her hands because she was assaulting him. And he was just like going, what is wrong with you? Calm down. It's just the pot roast story. She actually charged at him like an angry bull and tried to start punching him. And he stopped her and was like, what is wrong with you? Mm-hmm. And then she wants to say that was abuse and that we spent the night in a shelter. Never happened.
Oh, wow.
And the Pierce County Police Department found that out for us when we moved into my childhood home, my dad, my mom, and myself. And they found that on his record, and they just whitewashed it because they said it was a report, but it was never officially filed. There was no anything. It was just she made that claim, and that was it.
Are you talking like Pierce County, Washington?
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up in Thurston County, so what you're talking about is par for the course in Pierce County.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wow. Well, I'm sorry you went through that. That's an insane story. She gave you brain damage. That's mad. Wait, how old were you? Did you have to leave the house at 18 or could you get out sooner?
I had to at 18. It was literally 2 weeks after my 18th birthday because while I was in high school even, my family had shared custody to where my father would get me every other weekend. And so the first weekend, because I was terrified to drive on my own, I was still learning how to drive. I was terrified to drive on the freeways alone. And we lived in Gig Harbor. My dad lived on the other side of the bridge. So, of course, I had to get used to driving on the freeways. So instead, just treated it like a normal weekend, but I had smuggled out a bunch of personal items in my duffel bag of clothes for the weekend. And then I just told her on Sunday, yeah, I'm not coming back.
How did she react? Did she crash out?
Oh, big time. And then she got idiot involved and tried to say, I don't like the way you're talking to your mother, da-da-da-da-da. And I told him the hard truth of going, dude, let me tell you something. She's wanted to divorce you twice, and I had to beg her not to because I like that she uses you as a punching bag instead of me every day just because she had a crap day at work. she cusses you out and wants to beat you up instead of it always being me.
What did he say to that? Why does he stay? Why do you guys stay in that? I will never understand it.
I don't understand why he does. How the hell? I mean, she is literally, she's a hippo. His ex-wife treated him exactly the same, but at least was good looking. And it is to this day still far better looking than my bio. And yet he stays with her. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? But yeah, somehow she's still with him. Sorry.
Some men just like torture. No, it's okay. Okay, well, thanks for calling in. I appreciate you telling the story. Sorry you had a crazy mom. But how old are you now? How long has it been since you've seen her?
That was 18, so 19, 20, 20. About 7 years, and I'm 30 now. So I was about 23, 24, and she was mad at me because I had a recovered drug addict that I had met through a mobile gaming app, Mobile Strike, that Arnold Schwarzenegger used to advertise for, that I actually met online, and she was like a surrogate mother to me.
Have you forgiven her, or do you think you're still mad?
Oh, I won't forgive her until I'm dead.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the fact that I finally told her at my graduation that I had the hydrocephalus, my initial plan was I was going to take that to the grave, and the hospital screwed up and actually gave her my discharge date in a survey from a third party, even though I had a do not disclose order with her name, his name, and their house address on it.
Wow.
So I could have sued Tacoma General for giving out information I told them not to.
Wow. Well, thanks so much for calling in and telling me your story. I'm sorry you went through that. That's brutal. So thanks so much.
Thank you for everything.
Man.
Yeah. Thank you for everything that you guys do. I really support you guys. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. Okay. Guys, we actually have a lot of callers, so we're going to keep it to 4.5 minutes or less.
Okay.
Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 callers right now.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a good show to get callers in.
Guys. So try when you get here to think of the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story. So when you get on the line, I might say hi, but just say, okay, so this is what happened. These are the things she lied about. This was what actually happened. Any other details you think are relevant, and then we'll maybe ask some follow-up questions. So yeah,
cool.
Go ahead.
All right, Daniel, I'm letting you in. Your sound better be hooked up this time. Daniel, you were in the chat saying that you're ready. Apparently not. And there is another Daniel too.
Why don't you let like 3 people up, and the first one that figures out their sound gets to go.
Daniel, no name. You're on mute. Okay. Daniel, no name. You're on mute. I'm gonna bring in James Owen.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, he gets to go. Is that James or Daniel?
No, it's Daniel.
Okay. Hi, Daniel. Thanks for calling in.
Hey, guys. Well, I'll just get to it.
Cool.
The biggest lie my mom told me was that, apparently my dad had died, and I didn't find out till about 9 months later.
Oh, my gosh. How old were you?
This happened like 2 years ago.
What did he die of? Like, how did you not have a good relationship with him? Like, you guys didn't talk, or like what?
Well, I'll give you the short version. Okay. Basically, my mom's crazy. And she was convinced that my wife slept with my dad. She was just convinced of it. She even claimed that I told her out of my mouth that I said that my wife slept with my dad. Then, so she had something against my wife. Big deal. Okay. So then she would tell my dad, oh, why? Because that bitch told me that you were sleeping with her. What the hell was wrong with that? What's wrong with you? Why were you sleeping with her? Like what the hell's wrong with you? Like, and my mom would literally beat up on my dad. My dad was already, at this point, he was like disabled at this point. He was suffering from kidney failure, and I had no idea about this, mind you. And so the last time I saw my dad, I went over to my mom's house, and see, I live in San Antonio now, and she lives in Dallas. And what happened was, I went to my mom's house. My dad was there. As soon as he found out I was there, he came out and started screaming at me. Tell that bitch to quit fucking with me. Tell that bitch to quit fucking with me. And I'm just like, I didn't know what to say. And I ended up walking in my car, and my dad followed me outside, and he's screaming at me the whole time. And I just said, bye, Dad. I'll talk to you later. And I didn't hear from my dad for a while. And she didn't tell me things. She just told me, oh, by the way, your dad went to Mexico. He went to visit his family in Mexico. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. And the next thing you know is, it's like, I was with my son. He's like 4 years old. And I was just playing with him on the computer. I said, look, son, this is how you look up your name on Google. And me and my dad have the same name. So I typed my name into Google, thinking it's going to, pull up my Facebook and all that good stuff. And next thing you know, I see obituary, Epitacio Camacho Sr.
What?
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say it out loud, my name out loud. But
okay, we can trim it after the show if you want it out. Yeah, go ahead.
I've never been so heartbroken. And yeah, that's what happened.
Do you think your mom had something to do with it because of what he was saying?
Yeah, my mom we'd be picking at him all my life. My mom would be antagonizing my dad. My dad was the kind of guy that, let's put it this way. I understand I understand what my dad did. I understand the way he was fighting because I'm kind of the same way as him. And he did everything he could to keep the family together. And my mom would just sit there trying to take it down. There was times when she cheated on him, and she had us with them while she went to go see her boyfriend. There'd be plenty of times we'd be in the car waiting while she was over there seeing her boyfriend doing whatever she's doing with him. While we were I was maybe 8, 9 years old at the time. And yeah.
So when I say she had something to do with it, I meant, do you think she poisoned him or something like that?
I don't think she poisoned him, but I think she may have hurt him, and he may have somehow got some kind of infection and kind of made things worse. That's just what I'm thinking. But my dad he ended up dying of kidney failure.
Yeah, because it's just a weird thing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I didn't know I didn't find out until a year and a half later that what happened, how my dad died.
And what did she say when you confronted him?
Oh, I'm so happy that you know. Oh, I feel like a weight's off my shoulders.
Gaslighting.
Dude, that's exactly what she said to me.
And did no one else in the family tell you about the funeral?
Nobody told me anything, not even my brother.
Why?
And the thing is, my brother was the product of my mom's cheating.
What?
And my brother was there when my dad died, but I wasn't there.
Why would they? Do they not like you or what? I just can't.
My mom.
That's so weird. Go ahead.
I can't explain my mother. I can't explain her. I don't understand her half the time. But she's who she is.
Yeah. No, so. I understand she was crazy. I don't understand how all the mutual relatives.
My mom is the queen bee, basically, of the family.
Oh, okay.
And when I called my brother, I said, hey, brother, what's going on? Why didn't you tell me? He goes, oh, well, that's what mom wanted. Mom didn't want you to know. And he's just so blasé about it. Wow. And then I called my sister. I called my oldest sister. And she's just like, well, you know how mom is.
Holy crap. You have to be so I would be so angry at everybody. That's shit.
Why I left. That's why I moved to San Antonio to get away from them for a little bit, just to give me that space.
You ever wonder? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I would never talk to them again if I was in your show. I would be so pissed.
And that's the thing.
I would literally.
Thing about
I'm listening to this.
The thing about it, I still want to talk to I still love my mother as much as I hate to say it. I still love her.
Did she do that kind of stuff when you were a kid too? Like lie to you about a bunch of stuff?
She used to beat it. My mom used to beat us a lot. My mom was on drugs. She used to tell us. My mom was always gaslighting us about everything. Like she literally, we would get up in the morning on Saturday mornings. Like we would be very quiet not to wake my mom up, and we'd be watching little cartoons or whatever. And then as soon as she'd wake up, it's just like a fucking hurricane came into the house. She would literally start screaming at us, start whipping us with the belt. Well, clean up, like do all this, blah blah blah. And I'm 6 years old. You want me to clean the house? I'm 6 years old.
How long has it been since you talked to her?
I talked to her a couple of days ago, but I keep it very short. I keep it very short. Like as soon as I start hearing that tangent in her voice, where she starts going on about something else, I say, okay, Mom, I'll talk to her. Love you, bye.
What makes you not just cut her off all the way? Like what do you get out of this relationship?
I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like I said, just the fact that I don't know if it's just the fact that she's my mother or what it is, but just like I don't know what to say.
It's okay. I mean, I'm not judging. I'm just wondering because it just seems like you're not getting much out of it, you know.
No. But
yeah,
like I said,
you're allowed to cut her off, you know. It doesn't make you like a bad person or anything. I know a lot of family members try to guilt you, but it really doesn't.
Like I said, I appreciate that you letting me talk about this.
No, thanks for calling in.
Yeah. I was, sometimes you got to wonder, because your brother and sister, it seems like because I was like that. My other siblings could just let certain things that my mom did just like slide off their back. And I'm like, how do you do it? Like, how do you not care? Because like my mother constantly hurt me like all the time. And I just had to get away. But, you know, I have siblings where they could just sit there and just like let it slide off. And I'm like, how do you do that? How do you not let it bother you? You know? And you don't owe your mom anything, man. Like a lot of women, a lot of mothers, oh yeah, you know, I gave birth to you, I carried you for 9 months, and what would you be without me? I'm telling you, like Pearl said, cut her off, man. You know, the best thing you did was move away, because those whole queen bees, where they have, not only do they control your life and your family's life, but you usually control a lot of other people in the community's lives too. Understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, good thing you moved away, man. And the thing about it is you got to stop hoping for something that you're never going to get.
I know. I don't expect the relationship with my mom to ever be perfect at all. Like I said, I see her maybe once a year in person, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, thanks for calling in. That's the craziest story I've heard in a while. What the hell? That's insane.
Yeah, I win. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks for calling in. Didn't tell you that your dad died. I would never talk to a single person in my family ever again, especially if you're close with your dad. Oh my God. I'm just putting myself in like, oh, I would be so mad.
Yeah, you find out on Google that your father died.
What the hell?
And he's a junior, so he saw his name senior was the obituary. Gosh. Ugh. Okay, next up, Mike Johnson. And then L. Wayne. I saw you dropped up, but you can come back in and you'll be next. Mike?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Thanks for calling in, Mike. So tell me, what is the craziest lie your mother ever told you?
This is actually Daniel Sr. I finally got my damn phone to work.
Okay, cool.
I just wanted to say shout out to you. I've seen you on AD first, Antoine Daniels, and then I've seen you on Jesse Lee Peterson.
Oh, thank you. So what's the story you got?
So you're the type of woman that a man needs. Your type of thinking, but there's not many out there. But my mother, the biggest thing about my mother is that I realized she was a narcissistic first.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important to realize if you have a narcissistic mother and what those characteristics are. And then, like you said, we got to let them go. Don't stay in that. Let them go.
They'll torture you forever. God, you got to let them go. Go ahead.
But yeah, I let her go 4 years ago. I'm 54, and I've had the greatest time of my life, the most freedom I've ever had. I am done with her and all my family. But my mother, a lot of things she did, I look at now and I laugh. One of the things she would always do and lie to me about was the funny thing is she would get mad at me when I wasn't even in the room, and she'd be cussing at me in other rooms. The shit was crazy. Like, she would drop something in the kitchen, and then she would yell and scream at me, and then she'd call me in there and she'd try to hit me, and I wouldn't let her do it. But my mother hates men. I also realized that after 50 years, that she hates men. She tried to emasculate me. She couldn't do it, and she hated me for that. And I'm very thankful to this day that she wasn't able to complete the job. She's done it with the rest of the family. Everybody hates me, and she's made it very much known to everybody that I'm the worst person in the world. I cut everybody off, Pearl. There isn't one family member I have in my life, and my life is amazing. That's all I wanted to say. So if you fellas out there can't let go, do your best to let go. Do not hold on to it anymore. You will not be free until you let go.
Yeah, because it's just endless fighting. And then they send everyone against you. It never ends. So, yeah, thanks so much for calling in.
We love you, girl. Keep going.
Thank you.
Bye.
And that is everybody.
Wow, the death. That was a crazy one. The dead. Oh, my God. That's the thing. Mothers are just, they're like a different type of evil, truly. So.
Yeah, I told you, society, it just keeps giving women a pass, and the pass has gotten bigger ever since the whole single mother thing. Because here's the thing. You know how I still have to find that stat, because I swear multiple sources have said that 75% of abuse towards children and the elderly is women. I know that 80% of workplace bullying. Oh, let me bring in this person because they're back.
Which person?
L. Wayne is coming in.
Okay.
L. Wayne is on mute. L. Wayne, are you there? What I was saying is,
yes.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
Hi. So, what's your thoughts on the topic?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. Hi. So, what's the biggest lie your mother ever told you?
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
I think you're listening to the YouTube in the background. You have to turn the YouTube off.
Ah, okay. Am I still here?
You're here.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Whoa, this is weird. All right. So, the best way I can describe my childhood and going on is that when I was growing up, my mom, I was a kid, and she's been mentally disabled my entire life. And my dad, being the wonderful person that he is, he did the best that he could to uphold my family and keep things going. But after a while, when I turned a teenager, things got bad and there was a nasty divorce. They got into a horrible fight, and that was it. It was over. Well, shortly after that, probably it was almost a year, about 8 or 9 months after the divorce. I got woken up in the middle of the night by my mom with a large butcher knife.
What?
Yes.
What?
And she told me to get up and that we were going to get in the car and she was going to put the family back together. My mom was having an psychosis episode.
Mm-hmm.
And we got into the car, and the plan was to drive to get my brother, who was about, he was in college, and we're going to go down there and get him. Well, we started to run out of gas in the car, and she still had the knife driving, by the way. She was driving with one hand all over the place. It was crazy. And I had to dive out of the car while it was still moving and walk to a gas station and call the family that I could depend on to come help and convince her to take medical help.
How old were you?
I was 11.
Wow.
Wow. So at 11 years old, you woke up to a knife in your face and your mom saying she wants to get the family together. She drives you, and during the drive, you convince her to get help on the way to get your brother. Is that right?
Yes, it took me diving out of the car while it was still moving, but yes.
Oh my God.
And walking to the nearest gas station.
So what happened after that? Did you have to go back? Did your mom lose custody of you or something? Or did you have to go back to the hospital with your mom?
After that, I went back for a little bit, and the episodes continued, and then I had to go into state custody for a little bit. And eventually, I ended up getting in contact with my dad and going to live with him in a different state from where we lived.
Do you still have contact with your mom?
Yeah, I live with her right now, and I help take care of her.
What is she? Is she like, I don't know what mental illness causes someone to go into psychosis.
It would be paranoid schizophrenia and bipolar.
Are you ever scared she's going to do that again? Like, does she ever go into episodes now?
Yes, I dealt with one recently.
Wow. What if
it's been most of my life.
Wow. What makes you still like take care of her? Do you just feel like it's your responsibility to?
At the moment, yes, but I would like to get her more professional help because, you know, as she ages, it tends to get worse. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I'm going to ask you, so do you ever want to live some type of semblance of a regular life? Like, do you want to, because you know that you can't live a regular life if you're taking care of your mother who's a paranoid schizophrenic, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, are you going to spend the rest of your life just taking care of a paranoid schizophrenic? Do you want to, like, live your own life, maybe have a relationship, have kids or something like that?
Definitely.
Wow. What are your choices? Can you put her in a home or something?
That's still kind of in the works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to have to live with Kathy Bates forever.
What was
telling me that, you know.
What was the recent episode? Did she threaten to hurt you again? I'm sure at this point you've taken all the weapons out of the house, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You might have beat the other guy in these smother stories.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
The other guy called in and I said, that's the worst story I've heard in a while, but I think you just topped it. Sorry.
Oh, man.
I don't mean to laugh.
Yeah.
I do apologize. But
hey, you know, Ben Franklin is the devil, right? What do you do?
Yeah. And you're still in it too. You know, I'm hoping that your situation can change, man, because, you know, time's going to go by. You don't want to look back on your life with a whole bunch of what ifs and woulds and coulds and shoulds, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've done my share. I still live. I'm a fighter.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for calling and telling your story. Call in again. Keep us posted.
All right, will do. Thanks, guys.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 36.
Oh my gosh, you've spent your whole life dealing with this. Wow. Okay.
She's been sick my entire life.
Yeah.
It's been a rough ride, but somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Guys,
yeah.
men are such good people. Thank you for calling in.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Wow. Oh my gosh. My goodness. And he has to take care of a woman that would do that kind of thing. And that's your mom. See, that's the thing. No, guys, don't ever, these women keep painting men to be these horrible people. But there's men, more often than not, men will do what he's doing, where he'll sacrifice his life for the benefit of his mother or women around him. But women will not do the same thing. You ever see that story, Pearl, where this woman was married to this guy. He got cancer, and then she divorced him because he had cancer. Mm-hmm. And then he actually got remarried and lived his new life with a wife, and lived his last days with his new wife. And his new wife married him knowing he had cancer. And then she had the nerve to I do cancer half marathons and marathons in memory of my ex-husband that I left because he had cancer. God.
Women.
Oh my goodness. All right, we have one last caller. We're gonna let in Dan. Guys, make sure to like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that super chat button. All super chats go towards the divorce documentary. Dan, are you there?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
I can. Oh, that was so nice. You came in ready to go. No YouTube in the background. That was great.
Awesome. Yeah, it's separate devices, so
yeah,
all good.
Okay, so yeah, what is the worst lie your mother ever told you?
Very similar to the Mexican guy that called.
Okay.
My parents divorced when I was 2, and all growing up, I heard, oh, your dad cheated. He's, I came home and he was, he left me, and, he ruined the family, blah, blah, blah. I was 2. I didn't know what happened. In my mid 40s, I caught her, she just basically told on herself that she was the one that filed for divorce. And I was like, you never told me that. Like, and then my dad was the one who said, like, let's figure it out. Like, don't do this, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, damn, all right. I just thought that was like, I guess, like lying by omission type of thing. So
how old were you when you found out?
45.
Okay. Oh my gosh, you didn't find out till you were... Did you have a relationship with your dad the whole time, or did you get into contact when you were older?
So he got custody, majority custody during the divorce. Mm-hmm. So, but I was kind of like, she like kind of turned me against him a little bit. So, which was kind of toxic because I was with him most of the time.
Yeah, but the thing
like
is,
when I'd have weekends with her.
People don't understand how strong like mother's propaganda is. Like it's just so strong because it takes you years to figure it out, because it's like you're listening to a podcast in your ear about how terrible your dad is, and it takes years for you to like notice that. Wait, I don't think he would do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and now my relationship with my dad is way better. But it suffered for a long time, like when I was in high school, or even when I was little, is kind of like what you were saying like earlier about like the mom puts themselves on the pedestal and then you just kind of like believe everything she says. And in a way, it's kind of like out of self-preservation. It's like, okay, if I say anything, it's like she's going to get pissed off. So you just kind of like go along with her narrative. And So that,
so
I mean, it took me a while.
What actually happened? Was she cheating also, or she just divorced him?
I don't think so. I think that he was cheating. But knowing my mom, she's super emotional. She just like, I don't know if she forced him to move out or she took her stuff. I still don't really know to this day, like the actual story. My dad ended up getting like remarried like immediately after the divorce, and then my mom got remarried, and then they both got divorced, and it just created like a downward spiral type of thing. I mean, they're both fine, but ended up having like a lot of step parents coming in and out of the house. So I really don't, to this day, don't know if he cheated or how bad or if she cheated. So my dad doesn't like to talk about it.
That's the thing. The dads will actually preserve the mother's reputation, where the women will just
totally. He never
dads.
said anything bad about her. He never said
so
anything bad about her.
And then the moms get mad when you come to your own conclusions based off of their behavior, and then they blame the dad. And you're like, no, it's your personality, actually. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's just exactly what you're saying. It's like even just stating the obvious of like you objectively did this. It's like, what are you trying to say? That I'm a bad person? I'm like, like I'm just stating like a sequence of like historical events. Like,
yeah.
Well, what are you saying about me? So, yeah, I kind of quit talking to her after I just needed a break because it's like too much drama.
Yeah.
And then I just got like a really big job offer. I was like, oh, this maybe is just the universe telling me something. I shouldn't just like not talk to my mom and I'll make more money.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, actually,
I'm like, there's no drama in my life. And so it's kind of like, okay, things more fell into place,
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's like when you cut them off, it's like the best feeling in the world. You just don't have to deal with it anymore.
Yeah, no. And it's just like you get the emails. It's like, no, you must contact me now. I'm like, actually, I must do anything. I'm just going to like go get a massage or something. It's like they try to guilt you like you're a bad person if you don't like do exactly what they say.
You know what my favorite one is? It's like, I gave birth to you, and you're like, you wanted to do that.
Times.
Like
so many times.
You're like, you're the one who chose that.
Yeah. 9 months you were inside of me. I was like, dude, I didn't sign up for that, dude.
Yeah, it was 9 months, not 5 years. It wasn't that's not that long. Like, why are we acting like that's that long of a time?
Well, the other part of the story, actually, you guys might find interesting, was that my dad got child support because my mom did have. Yeah. He took me to like Europe twice in middle school because he had all this extra money from child support.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but she had
how much did he get a month?
I don't know. It was not small. I know he had her wages garnished a couple times, which is hilarious. That was another thing my mom was like.
We should get him on. Tell him to come. Does he want to do a show on how to put your wife on child support?
Yeah. Well, it just depends on the woman. Like my mom did have serious anger management problems.
Yeah.
She disowned me like a couple times due to like just academic performance and things like that. Just like,
what's
not
funny when they disown you and you're like, all right, see ya.
Yeah.
Oh, darn.
Yeah. But I was younger though. So to me, it was really, I was hurt by it, to be honest, at that point in my life.
How old were you?
21.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, at that age, you don't know how crazy they are. I feel like it's like your mid to late 20s, early 30s when you're like, I think she's insane.
Yeah, you think that it's like, oh, it's your parent. Like their opinion should matter. Like you should weigh it into your life. It's like, oh, if your parent says that they disown you, I must have done something wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I like read all the court documents. I was like, no, actually the judge said she's crazy too. So
what did your mother do for work? They're asking. And what about your dad?
My dad was a corporate attorney. So he was like really smart guy, like top of his class, like Ivy League. And so this goes back to like previous conversations she had. She was an immigrant from Asia. So it was kind of like a passport bro situation, but she was like an accountant, accounts payable. So she got her like citizenship and everything through my dad. And Yeah, so
put her
just
on
be
child
careful with
support. That's so funny.
Be careful with the passport bro stuff. You know, it's like as soon as they get a credit card, it's like game over.
Okay, well, thanks for calling in. Call it anytime, okay?
Yeah, thanks, guys. Really appreciate you hearing my story.
A little too early on that one. That's everybody.
Cool. That was funny. I love it when they come in with we got to figure out a way around waiting for each caller because it just takes too long. We'll think about this next show. But, okay, my final thoughts is that whenever women are wrong, they'll just gaslight you to eternity, and that includes mothers. And so what I would say is cut off your moms. Cut them off. They're going to drag you into their drama forever, and I would just cut them off. And you can make a prerequisite to be in your life that they have to be drama-free, and if they're not nice to you, which are two pretty minimal, easy things. And if they don't want to do the bare minimum, I would just cut them. So what about you, Doug MPA?
One of the ultimate gaslights. I think I've told this story on the show before, but I'll say it again. I had a friend, and she went to Catholic school, elementary school, middle school, high school, right? And all of their teachers were Catholic, priests or whatever. And when she was in 5th and 6th grade, she had the same teacher, and this guy was like straight up like sleeping with the 5th grade and the 6th grade girls, like her and like two of her friends, like in the classroom, right? And so she went to tell her mom, and her mom, because all her mom cared about was how she was seen in the church, and she was a woman of status in the church, whatever. And so she was like, "Oh no, what are you saying these horrible things about this man for? He's a good man, blah, 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 blah." She's like, "No, mom, like this guy's doing this stuff to me and my friends." And she's like, "How dare you say that? And how dare you say, don't tell anybody, blah, blah, blah," right? So she had to go through 5th grade and 6th grade with this happening to her, right?
Oh,
and
my
so
gosh.
when she was in high school, that guy messed around with one of the daughters of someone in the city that was like rich and powerful, right? So that girl told the dad, and that guy the priest got criminally prosecuted and got arrested and convicted and sent to prison for like a long time, right? Because once that case started, a bunch of other girls spoke up. And so he got like a bunch of time in prison. And she said, "Mom, look, I told you." And her mom just gaslights her to this day. If you would have just told me, and I had so much going on, and what about me? What about me? What about me and my feelings? And to this day, she's just like, "Mom, I just want you to say
I was wrong. That's it, and we'll forgive you." That's a crazy thing. The kids will forgive the mother if you just say, "Hey, I was wrong for doing that." That's it. That's all you have to do. I was wrong, and I'm sorry.
She said, "All you have to do, Mom, is say I wasn't there to protect you. I didn't believe you. I'm sorry," but she can't even do that.
They never can. That's modern women, everybody. So, all right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. If you want, please donate to the divorce documentary. I would love to hear your thoughts. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification